Hi Flosstube, welcome back to my channel, NBC Stitcher. I'm Matt and this is Augie, and this is going to be Flosstube episode number 43. Today is Wednesday, April 27th, 2022, and it is in the evening, and I am deciding to go ahead and do a video again. So it's been quite a while. I think it's been about 3.5 weeks, almost 4 weeks now. I think it was at the end of March that I did my last video, or maybe early April. So I know the WIPGO numbers had come out, so it was at the end of March or the very early April. And I actually did film a video a couple weeks ago, but I don't want to put it up because there were I don't know, after I filmed it, I was like, I want to do some changes, and then I never got around to doing those, and then I just wanted to do a new video. So I'm doing a new video. I've still got all my projects that I worked on before, so I'm going to show everything again. I don't have all of my haul still because I put a lot of that in my stash. I have some of it, so you're still going to get a good chunk of haul. And then I've had things come in since then, so we've got that. But yeah, and this one as well is going to take some more editing because I have some things to add into it. But yeah, so let's start off with, and there will be a book section at the end, media and books. So that'll be coming at the end of the video. So, first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody that has been watching, liking, subscribing, and doing all the things, interacting with me on Instagram, your comments. Thank you so much. I read all of them, I heart them, and comment back sometimes, but a lot of times I'm like, I don't know what to say. But if you get a little heart from me, that is, I definitely have read it. So thank you all so much. And yeah, I will be, okay, so the current plan, assuming nothing happens, is that I will be going to StitchCon and I'm going to Weekend B. I was on the wait list and I got off the wait list and paid my invoice, and I don't think I'm going to have any work conflicts, so that's going to be helpful. But yeah, I'm going to be going to StitchCon Weekend B. Several of my friends are going. Cheryl, my friend from here she lived Broken Arrow, Tulsa, same thing. She's going. We're going together. My friend Kate, Stitchy Aardvark, is coming from New York. I'm very excited to meet her in person. She wasn't able to make it to the Steel Cities Stitchers one, so finally I'll be able to do that. And then lots of other people. I don't know if Alexis I don't know if she knew which weekend she was going to yet, but I think she's going or was considering it, so that's happening. The Sunshine Stitchers are going to Weekend B. Several other people. Stitching with Grammy is going to Weekend B. I met her at Steel City Stitchers. So yeah, now a lot of my friends from Steel City Stitchers are going to Weekend A, and they are getting all excited and doing all these things, and I'm like, oh, but I won't be there. So I'm gonna miss them, but I'm still excited to go with a lot of the people that are going, and excuse me, it's gonna be a great time. The other thing, I have been a little under the weather, as you can hear from my cough. I'm getting over a non-COVID bacterial infection. I am on the 5th or 6th day on my antibiotic, but it's working. I am getting better each day, so I'm continuing to progress. Okay, so I want to do a new segment, and I just kind of thought this up as I was starting. Well, let me talk about this first. Okay, so I didn't address this last video, but this appeared. I did buy this and put it here. And this is a new bookshelf that I got, and then I've stocked it up already. So nothing on here was new. I already had everything. I just needed more shelf space to display it, or wanted to put it here. A big reason I wanted this was some more plant space to be able to put my plants in, have a little bit more light. My Christmas cactus was kind of at the bottom of a drink cart that I have using to as a planting holder. So yeah, I really like these kind of open bookshelves. I have several of them. I got this one at Home Depot. Ordered it online. It came to the store. I picked it up, put it together. It was actually really quick and easy to put together. It was very nice. I really like it. And so I do this thing I've done it with this bookshelf. I do it with a lot of my other bookshelves where I have like books or whatever that I'm putting here, and then I also add little tchotchkes because I have a lot of them and I like to display them. And a lot of them have like a personal meaning or something from them, that like a history or something to them. So because I have a bunch here now, I want to kind of address them, but I'm going to do one at a time. So next video I'll do a new one. When we get through everything that's on here, we'll get I'll pull one from somewhere else and then we'll talk about it. So I'm going to start with this piece. So this is a piece of pottery that I purchased from the Rookwood Pottery factory in Cincinnati, Ohio. My cousin lives there, and when she was getting married, we went up there for the wedding. She's from here, but my family went up for the wedding, and there's this very well-known Rookwood pottery factory, and they have like, well, at the time they had like the factory and you could go there, and then they also had like an not outlet store, but like another place where you could buy their pottery. My parents and I went there. I ended up getting my cousin a piece of it for her wedding gift, and then I got a couple little pieces. I got this one and another one that's in the other room. But I really love pottery. It's one of the things that, like, when I go someplace and I'm looking for something little to get, I love pieces of pottery. It's one of my favorite forms of art to enjoy, to purchase, to collect, but Rookwood. So tune in next time to learn what additional the history of another piece of tchotchke art, or dust collector, as other people have called them, on this bookshelf, what the history of it is. So, okay. I want to discuss, I have two finishes. One is a page finish that you'll see in a little bit. The other one is a piece that I have been working on for my boyfriend for his birthday, which was a couple weeks ago. And I did finish it and I gave it to him. And so I have, but I did little snippet videos during the process. So when I was filming a Flosstube, I would do the normal one and then I'd end it, and then I would start filming and do a little segment. So I'm gonna put those in here. Hello everyone. If you'll notice, I probably look a little different than when you just saw me, because this has been recorded earlier. If you go back, you'll see that this is from when I was filming episode 40 in February. I started this new piece for my boyfriend for his birthday in April, which is probably when you're seeing this. And so I just wanted to show you like kind of where I started, but since he watches these, this will come out later so he doesn't get spoiled. But last year I did an Oklahoma piece for him. He lives in Arkansas and works at the University of Arkansas, and which is about like 2 hours from here in Tulsa. And he is from Tulsa, his family's here. So like he has some Oklahoma stuff up in his house. And so I gave him another thing that's the same kind of pattern, same designer, and it's like the silhouette of Oklahoma, and then it has a scene on, you know, a nature scene. So I got an Arkansas one to make for him this year, and this is what it will look like when it's done. This is the markup from Pattern Keeper. I will probably change the color of the word Arkansas, but and I'm doing this on a 32 count Lugana from Fortnite Fabrics from their first year. Sorry, it goes like this. Amaryllis is the name of it. So I kind of started in the middle and then worked my way down, and then I'm working my way back up. But this is the start of it. None of there's some flowers there that are kind of blending in, but it will stick out because it's like green all the way around or brown or stuff. So, and then I got this Dela and Jinx pen that I turned into a needle minder. We loved their holiday special, both the one on Hulu, and then we watched the other one. Was kind of our first date, was when we watched the holiday special 2 years ago, or 2 Christmases ago. So that's kind of why it is on there. So yeah, so this is I will be doing hopefully some regular updates and push them all together, and then you'll see it when it's done, and then after I've given it to him, I'll insert it in the next video. But I'm really happy. I have to stitch about like 140 stitches a day to get done in time, but I am working on it. And I think it's about 3 lengths of thread. If I do 3, I'm gonna be more than enough to get there. And so I'm kind of trying to do some more when I have more time. Luckily, or not luckily, but we don't live together and we live in separate cities. So I have more time where he's not around that I can, you know, do something like this. So that is helpful in this aspect. I think we both would appreciate if we were closer, but that's life. So anyway, that is that one. So here's to the next mat that you're seeing, and then the one that's done. So bye. Hi everybody. If you recognize this, you'll see that I am recording another section of my everything that I did to get to the point of giving out my birthday present to my boyfriend. So as I showed last time, I started this Arkansas piece for him. I am now about halfway done. So I've been kind of working my way up. And so this is how far I'm at. I'm really loving it. It looks great, doesn't it? This is by Vlada X Stitch. This is a 32 count Lugana Amaryllis, which was from Fortnite Fabrics' first year of monthly stuff. This was their color monthly group, which was all named after flowers. So I really, really am loving this piece. I've got to work like 100 stitches a night to get it done in time. I'm probably going to get it done before that because but it's definitely doable. I worked my way down from having to get like 150 every night to now I've only got to get 100 done. But yeah, so I also have had some good amount of time to work on this. I will have a weekend where I won't be able to because I will be out of town and I won't have this with me. So I'm trying to get some good progress on this so I can put this away. This is a needle minder. I turned a pin into a needle minder. This is Jinx and Dela, they're 2 drag queens, Jinx Monsoon and Ben de la Creme, or Dela. They are 2 Seattle drag queens, which both competed on RuPaul's Drag Race. Jinx, who's the redhead, won season 5. Dela competed on season 6, and she competed on All Stars 3, where she pretty much dominated until she decided to go home. And so I love both of them. They are 2 of my favorite drag queens. they did a holiday special 2 years ago that they put up on Hulu, and that was actually on Ben and I's first date. What we did, we watched that special because we both really love drag queens and RuPaul's Drag Race. And so we watched their special on Hulu. This last year, they went back to touring with their new holiday special, and they, during the Delta Rage, or Delta Wave, several people in their production got COVID, and I think including Dela. And so they had to cancel their live shows, but they had recorded some of it and were able to put up, play that, and you could buy a ticket to watch it. So Ben and I did that, and watched it as kind of we watched the other holiday special again, but they put that up. And while they were doing that, they had some of their merch up that you could buy, and I bought this pin. So I turned it into a needle minder. They're two of my favorite drag queens, but that's why it's on this piece, because it's, well, wear him. Somebody asked me, are you going to give him the needle minder? No. But it's on here while I'm working on his project. So, but yeah, I did an Oklahoma one last year, which I think I've already told you because I filmed something 2 weeks ago. But I did an Oklahoma one last year, and I'm doing this Arkansas one. I'm about halfway done. I just got the rest of the state, and then the word Arkansas. And that's pretty much it. So, all right, see you in the next one. Okay, I have an update for the piece that I'm doing for my boyfriend's birthday, which is this State of Arkansas piece. So the scene that is shown here is from, I think, Hot Springs, Arkansas, and then, but it's the silhouette of the state, and then you've got this spring, and then the bridge over it and everything. So I have completed everything. I did change out the black at the top. It's supposed to, for a Mrs. Sadis silk that I had, that I just wanted to do it in this color instead of continue with the black. So I did that, and then I put my initials down at the bottom with the same thing. But yeah, this is the completed Arkansas piece. It is on 32 count Amaryllis by Fortnite Fabrics. And since you are seeing this, I have fully finished it, which I'll do. I'll try to do another insert of that, and then it will have been given away by the time that you guys see this. But this is April 3rd, so I just finished it today, and then I will be fully finishing it soon. And yeah, I'm really excited. I think he's really gonna love it. I didn't do the best at placing this on the fabric because I'm a little bit off. I will still have some extra, but I could have moved that up a little bit. But anyway, I did love working on this piece. It was great. I will definitely, well, I have a Texas one, I know, but that's not for Ben, so we'll just do that. But yeah, Arkansas. That's pretty much it. So, see you later. And so that's the last of them. And you can see that I kind of went through the whole process of when I started it, progress, and then I had it finished. But I didn't do one when it was FFO'd, and then I gave it to him and it's in another state. So I do have a photograph of it fully finished. I did it on a canvas, just like this piece. So that'll be here. Okay, and I have another, so that was the new piece for Ben, and he really enjoys it. It's he's already hung it up, and it looks great, and I'm just so happy he enjoys it. So the next up, I have another finish myself that I have FFO'd. This is the Forest Owl by Stitchy Little Fox on Etsy. That's where I purchased it. I think she's still on Etsy, but and so this is what I was doing as part of the Owl Bee Stitching Sal with Becca Sambry Stitches. I have FFO'd it. This is a piece of, I believe it's 16 count Aida. It may be 18. I actually think it is 18. But it's from Bee Stitch Me. It does not have a name. It is very old piece of hers that I had used half of it to do a different project a couple Christmases ago, and then still had the other half in this fit on it. And so I'm super happy with the result. I love the piece. In person, there's not any issues with the color kind of like blending in. Like you can see all of the outline. So I think on the video it might be a little bit hard to see that, but in person it looks great. And I love this piece. And so I finished it on a canvas from Michaels. And yeah, it hangs up in another room, so you won't see it up here normally. It's in the other room, in my dining room / game room. Okay, so that's my 2 finishes. I do have one other that the page finish, you'll see that in a little bit, but I have some starts. So, first of all, the first thing that I started is You Belong to Me from Long Dog Samplers. And this is a piece that several other people have been doing. Vicky Stitch and Button is working on it. Kate Stitchy Aardvark, EJ from the Sunshine Stitchers, all of them are working on this piece. And I had purchased it when it came out, and I was kind of like, I ordered fabric, and then I ordered some more, and I got the fabric that I wanted, and I ended up going a different direction for the color than I originally had thought, and then I got that. And so I went with PR 128. This is a Silks for You color. This is the same color that EJ is doing it in. And I am here. So that's kind of, this is a big bird, and then the top of a pyramid is kind of where I'm at. This is a 36 count linen called Twinkle from Bee Stitch Me. And I'm using 1 strand of floss. I had started it with 2, but it was a little chunky and uneven. And then I tried it with 1, and I really liked it. And so I'm sticking with 1 strand. So it'll be, I mean, it's super easy to work with. I'm kind of, so, you know, the variegation of this floss, you know, you've got a whole lot of it. So typically the way I work with this is I will just pull out a strand, like a 6-strand piece, and then I will pull a single strand out of there, and either work from it this long, it's this long, or I'll cut it in half and work from it from that. But I am currently kind of fussy cutting, or like I'm working on the shadow of this pyramid. So as I'm working on something dark, I work there. When I get out of the dark, then I come back up and I'll work on the bird, or I'll work something else out. So I'm doing that. The needle minder here is for Virtual Stitchers. Virtual Stitchers is a Facebook group that I am a part of. They operate 2 Zoom rooms that anybody can get in, and then you can stitch with somebody if you don't have somebody to stitch with in person, or you have friends that are somewhere else, and then you can do that. I often will do that on Friday nights, sometimes some other times, but that's the main time that I do it. Especially, I try to work on my full coverages that night, at least part of the time. But I have several friends that do it Friday nights, and that's, you know, kind of how it started. But that is a Facebook group. I don't think it's closed. I think you can join it. And then there's instructions on how to do all that. But they do a fundraiser, typically just donations to keep the Zoom account going, or the Zoom accounts going. And then this year Vicky made some needle minders to sell as a way to make some of the money for that. So I purchased one of those, and that's kind of what's going in for that. So that was my first start. You ready? Goggies had it for now. And then my second start, which this is also a little bit of haul. So this is, and Stitchy Kindness, the Fox. This is the series, the Year in the Woods series by Cottage Garden Samplings. I saw the Fox, fell in love with it, and then I have continued to purchase each one of the, oh, I don't know that I have the Jackrabbit with me. I have it somewhere. But, so I also purchased fabric from Brandy at Be Stitch Me. She has a set of fabrics called the Woodland Bundle that is designed, there's 4 colors that are like the 4 colors that are called for the pieces. So I purchased that, and then I started the Fox, which is the first one. And so this is, oh, what's the name of it? Hold on. Nope. Gray Magic is the name of this color. And so I have been continuing to work on Mr. Fox, and I've got quite a bit. This is a 40 count linen. So you can see, it's Dumbledore, or the magic hat, sorting hat, but in the pride flag. Yeah, so I did a center start, and then I kind of worked my way out to where I am. I got all the way down to the bottom. I'm doing this in the called for colors, except instead of chalk, I'm using the Silks For You white, because I have quite a bit of that, and I figured that would work great, so I substituted out the white, the chalk, and then I'm using an Anchor Black instead of 310, or whatever black was called for. This is a 40 count linen, and it is, I got fat quarters, and so I should be able to fit the Fox, the Swan, and then whatever the final animal is that will end up over here. And then the next color is Meadows, which is, this is the spring colors, which is a beautiful, well, this is just a gorgeous piece of linen. But this will be the jackrabbit, the raccoon, and the ferret. And so they'll all fit on here. My intent is to do all of them, all 3 of them on each piece of fabric, and then frame it as something, and then have it, switch it out every year, so, or each season. So I have, for winter time, I'll have the Fox, the Swan, and whatever the other animal is. Springtime, I'll have those. And then the new bear is the start of the summer ones, which is Spirit of the Forest is the name of this fabric. It's a gorgeous light green. Oh, it's just amazing. I love this so much. So yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing with that. And then the fall fabric is called Dusty Cottage, which is a nice, like, taupey color. Yeah, that'll be nice. So no idea what animals are on there, but that will be that. Oh, and I don't think I've talked about this. I think this is in the lost video, but this is a project bag made for me by my friend Robert, Robert's Palace of Stitches. He is mostly active on Instagram now. I don't think he's made a Flosstube in a while, but he has some old ones up there. He's on Virtual Stitchers with me, and he is a great and wonderful human being, and he makes project bags sometimes. And I asked him if he would make me one, and then he did, and then he gave it to me. I was up in Kansas City a couple weeks ago, middle of last month at spring break time with my boyfriend, and we were able to meet up. And so I think I did show that. Well, maybe, I don't know. If I've shown this before, I'm showing it again. Also, the needle minder on here he gave me, so I'm using that as well. But those are my 2 new starts, and yeah, I'm actually, the fox is really enjoyable to stitch. They're not small pieces by any means, but it's actually really been nice to work on, and something that is quite easy to work on, or, oh, I'll just do another length. And then, I mean, it's quite a lot of progress. So, yeah, I've been enjoying it. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about my full coverages. So, I, as you know, have been working on several full coverage pieces. Part of my monthly goals is to do 3,000 stitches on my full coverages. Excuse me. That's a total between the pieces. Like, I don't do 3,000 on each one, but as long as I get 3,000 stitches on my pieces, I am happy for the progress. So, first up, view mock-up. Okay, this is Intimate Encounter. The art is by Sandra, and it is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I did see Steve, the crafty Stitchers on YouTube, on Flosstube, and they're also on Instagram. They tagged me in their latest video. This apparently, they have, Steve has found the Heaven and Earth Designs and started one, and then also was like, oh, there's a sale, I need more of them. And because I've been working on this one, he was inspired to buy it as well. So that's really cool. But let's get to see how far I am on this one. So I've actually made a good amount of progress. I'm continuing to work up on the diagonal here, and I've been working on some of the threads that I already had parked. And then I've got some more parked ones up here, and then I'll start adding back in some more stuff. So I got most of his arm here, and I think after this we've got, I don't know, but the colors changed a little bit, so you couldn't just keep going up. So I think it's more of Mr. Hearn's body up here. So I'm really enjoying this. This is on a 28 count Lugana, the Easy Guide, and I'm doing 2 strands over 1 tent stitch instead of full cross. It looks great. I have a few like stragglers of like individual stitches that there's just one thing, and I need to just like, okay, I'm gonna go in and do those, but I haven't gone back to do those yet. But it looks great. And yeah, I'm gonna have to move this around when I get up here because I won't be able to get all the way up there. And so I'm not exactly sure. I think I'll probably like do just kind of randomly up here until I get, I don't know, I'll figure it out. But yeah, so I am at 7.5% on this one now, which is super exciting. All right. Yeah, 7.56%. Woohoo! So just over 20,000 stitches. That's super great. I love this piece, and the way it's coming through, it's just gorgeous. So, yay. I also have, this is probably the piece that I spend the least amount of time working on, and just been kind of in a like, maybe I'll work on that later mood with it. This is Once Upon a Fairy Tale by Amy Stewart, and charted by Heaven Earth Designs. This is the regular size. This is what it'll look like. And I am down here in this corner. And so it's really popcorny, I just lost the other word for that. Confetti heavy. And so here's where I'm at. I've done a little bit on it, but I haven't done a whole lot recently. I will work on this more. I've just been kind of like, I want something with a big block of color. And so I've been working on other pieces. And then my third full coverage, which I have, is, so the title of this piece is Grounding. The artist is Carla Morrow, and this is charted by Unconventional X Stitch. So their pieces are a little bit smaller than a Heaven and Earth normal size of their normal pieces. So, and they also put a lot more, their pages there's more pages in each piece than on a Heaven and Earth. So that also makes them a lot smaller pages, or smaller page finish, but it counts as a page finish. This is the one I do have a page finish on. I'm only at 2.69%, but I have my first page finish. And when I say page finish, I mean by number of stitches. I take the total number of stitches, divide it by the number of pages in the chart, and then that gives me an average number of stitches per page, and therefore when I reach that, I have a page finish. Even though there's not a physical page, like one page, it's across multiple pages. But yeah, so I started the other side on this one, and I finished the diagonal and got a little bit more, and yeah. So this is the rock starting here, and then we've got some of the watercolor mountains there. But I really enjoy this piece too. There's a lot of confetti right here, and then big blocks of color. So it's a little bit of a little bit, but it's been very enjoyable to work on. Okay, one of my goals for Whip Go was 5 days on Christmas or winter, well, Christmas. I'm counting this. Excuse me. This is Winter Deer by Stitchrovia. Here is a black and white of what it will look like. And I have been working on this as well. I did move the Q-snap, and I did this whole cloud here and then started on this tree. So I got quite a bit done. I worked on this a couple days. And this is on a 18 count Aida. It did not have a name. It is from Be Stitch Me. It is a silvery blue, and I really enjoy this. It's a dense stitch. It's not super large, but it is dense, and I like it. But it's, getting this clouds, I mean, that's solid stitching, so that's quite a bit, but it's actually not that bad for, like the tree here is going to be a lot bigger, any of that stuff. So I just did the cloud. There is a sun up here that I need to work on at some point, but, and then a lot more stuff down here, but that's what I've been working on. That was one of the Christmas pieces that I worked on. Another one, I don't have the chart, or the picture of it. Yeah, I have one. What are you doing, Huggy? think I may have not. Oh well. Okay, this is Woodland Santa by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Here's the picture. And I've been working here at the bottom. I added a whole bunch of this in, some of the green as well, but a lot of this white and red checker down here has been mostly what I've worked on. It's not a whole lot, but it's easy stitching, blocks of color. I keep this piece by the couch. So if I'm gonna work on it for Christmas or while I'm watching a movie or something, it's easily there. Now the other piece that I have done some work on, but not as much as I probably need to, is this Noble Companions piece from Leisure Arts. As I said in my last video, this is one of my this piece was, or the chart comes from my grandmother who had it in her stash and she was going through stuff and I liked it. She liked this, has always liked it, but has never stitched it. And there's two pieces, so I'm planning to do both of them, and I'm gonna keep the bear and I'm gonna give her the Santa on the horse. So I started with the Santa on the horse because that would be the one I give away. And I did get some more progress on this, but not a huge amount. So this is where we're at. So we've got more of the his leg here and the saddle, and then the start of the boot. So this is on a 36 count linen from Picture This Plus called Mystic, which Mystic is one of my favorite colors from them. It's a beautiful dark green or dark teal blue. It's like navy, but like it definitely has a teal tint to it, and I really love this color. It's a beautiful like night color or something where you want to do that. So the fabric is big enough that I should get both pieces on it. So I've started with this one and I am really enjoying it, but it does, because of the color, I do need to use extra light and magnification. But that works. Yeah, and so I really worked on this, and then when I needed something that was easier to, not as much fiddly, then I worked on one of the other Christmas ones. But I did get my goal of 5 days of Christmas, so it was one Whip Go goal. My other Whip Go goal was to work on my letters sampler. This is the Pain Free Crafts 2020 Stitch Along. There are 26 mythical creatures. They're shaped into the form of letters, and one for each letter of the alphabet. The art is Stanley Morrison, I think that's right, that it's based on. And I did a little bit on this, but not a whole lot. So I'm on N, just for Nessie, and I did a little bit more on the tail and kind of worked my way up. Not a whole lot. There's a lot of fractional stitches and I just wasn't feeling it. So I have this on my Whip Go board quite a bit, so I'm not planning to change that at this point, but I'm not feeling in the mood to work on this all that much. I could work on the border, and I'm over the halfway mark of the letters, so I should push on. But this just may be in the maybe later phase or kind of process. The other piece that I spent a lot of time on was ink circles, Forest of Sumatra. So this is Forest of Sumatra. It's one of my favorite pieces. And I am doing this with the called for floss, but a fabric is different. So I'm doing this on, no, that's the wrong way. Toast by Be Stitch Me. And this is a 36 count piece of toast. And then the floss is the called for, which is called Sumatra by Gloriana Silk. And I'm doing 2 strands over 2 on the 36 count. So Ink Circles is the designer focus for Garon, Garon designer focus. Garon is Garon Stitchery of the Sunshine Stitchers, Gary and Ronnie. They have picked different designers to focus on each month of the year. And Ink Circles / Long Dog Samplers was April. And so I was like, oh, well, what if I work on all of my pieces? That didn't happen. But I also was like, maybe I could get a page finish on here. And I didn't work on one that I had part of. I was already working on this part, but I was not really close to a page finish. There's another page that I'm actually closer on. I was like, no, I want to continue working on it up here. And I am close, and I probably will get this to a page finish very soon. It may not be in the month of April, but it may be very soon after that. So here's where I'm at. And this is the first page. I started in the middle and I did the middle set, and then I came over this way and did all of this, a good chunk of this. So this is actually down, the page that like ends here, but I don't like to stop on a page line, and I don't want to do that. So I do all of the motif that I'm working on. And so because of that, I came all the way down here, and then this piece all the way down. So I essentially need to finish this spot. So fill this in and then continue this border back up, which is not going to be that long. I have been doing like a strand or 2 every night, and just really enjoy this piece. It is also one that I believe that I'm not super close to a finish, but I could get this finished this year if I really put my mind to it. And I kind of want to do that. I really would like to get this done and framed. It's just so beautiful, and I think it would look great. I don't know. I might put it in this room. Not sure. But, I mean, that color does work. But, yeah, it's just, it's a gorgeous piece. I love it so much. And so that is the last of my actual stitching that I have to show. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I missed something. I will compare this. If I missed a piece that I showed in the Lost video, it'll come back out and I'll show it next time. But I didn't check before. So we have haul and we have some book talk as well. So let's start with the haul. No, I talked about that. Okay, so I'm gonna start with what came today. This is from Vicky Stitch and Button. She is one of the people on Virtual Stitchers, and sometimes when you're on there, she gives you some heads up of some of the bags she's making, and so I purchased one from her. These are vinyl front bags, and also has this beautiful peacock not key fob, zipper pull. Yeah, that's it. She does those. It's really great. It is not large enough for an 11 by 11, but I'm pretty sure you can fit an 11 by 8, or at least an 8 by 8. Or not put the Q snap, but just the piece in there. I love peacocks, and when she was showing this one, I was like, oh, I need that one. So I picked that up. Not sure what I'll put in it, but it is here. Okay. I ordered from Be Stitch Me the Bella Filipina Lakapati kit. And I took it out of here, but it's the silk and Krynic and beads, and then the pattern. And then I already had fabric, so I didn't get fabric from her as well. But this is this one. This is a beautiful one. I really want to do this one soon. I'm not in the mood to start another Bella Filipina or Mira right now because I have several of them going and I would like to get some more progress on some of them. And so I can, do that. But this is definitely one, when I get one finished, that I want to work on. And so I got this fabric when I was at Steel City Stitchers, and this is a under the sea fabrics. This is 32 count linen in the colorway Sea God, and I think it's gonna be perfect, right? Like, it's not the called for, but it's very close. So yeah, I think that'll be gorgeous. It'll be amazing. Okay, I purchased a couple charts from Abby Top Knot Stitcher. I did recently purchase the bear and the ferret of the Year in the Woods, and those are on their way, but they have not arrived yet. So I got the Spring Forest Scrapbook Part 2 from the Blue Flower. This is the Blue Flower portion. Lindy Stitches did her section, and I will pick that up at some point. I haven't done that yet, but I love these little scenes, and I kind of want to do some of them as little individual, like smalls that I could do like that. That's kind of the goal at some point in the future. I like the idea of some different spring ones that I can interplay with some of my, there's a bunny outside. I don't think Augie sees it yet, but he might. So preemptively, there may be some barking in the future or howling or some excitedness. You'll have to wait and find out. Another piece I purchased from Abby was the Mei Li, the South China Sea Mermaid from Meridian Designs. I really like this piece as well. I'm not a big mermaid person, but I did like this one. And I like her beluga one as well. And so I may get that one as well, but I like the representation, and I love that turtle. So, I also did some purchasing from Fire Poppies. Most of it is not, I didn't keep, like, most of it is already put away in stash, and I couldn't just like pull it out. But one thing I did get was a piece of 40 count linen from Fortnite Fabrics from their LNS collection. And this is Stately. It's a beautiful, nice, light tan, almost peachy color. Definitely something nice to put on that. I don't know what yet, but I buy the fabric. Another thing, well, I got my Jody Fabric of the Month last month, April, yeah. So this is 32 count linen, beautiful red, purpley plum color, and then this gorgeous tealy green. Oh, that's a good color. Love that one too. Then I did get this spring box from Be Stitch Me. I have already put up the silks, but I do have the fabric still out, so I will show that. And I ended up getting 36 count linen for this, and I got the Beehive. This is Beehive, which is a nice, beautiful yellow, nice bright yellow. Marigold, which this is probably my favorite color in this set, but it's a gorgeous orangey yellow. similar to the marigold that Fortnite did in their first year, but it's really pretty. This is Spring Bud, which is a beautiful green. If Gary watches, this is definitely a Gary green. Yeah, very Kermit-y as well. Petunia, which is a nice pink blush. Ooh, I think I have something that I have an idea of something that would be really pretty for this. But I don't know that I can talk about it because I know something that other people don't. In the future, we'll see. Okay. I am in Rebel Stitcher Designs Cottage Garden Thread Club. She started this, I think Garon is also doing a thread club with them. That one I think is full. And Rebel Stitcher, I haven't watched her latest video. Go watch that. You can email her. So hers is bi-monthly, so you can get it. It comes every other month, and she'll invoice you and then send it to you the next month. But these are Cottage Garden threads. These are from Australia. They are a little bit more expensive than other hand-dyed cotton, but they are beautiful, and I think they are like they do a lot to be environmentally conscious, and they also, like, I don't know, there's a lot of great things about them. She has a good explanation in her video, and I was like, yes, I want some more of these. Okay, so, and they've got care instruction and everything. So this is Hollyhock, which is number 103. It's a beautiful pink variegation color. Larkspur, which is a beautiful rainbowy pastel color. And then Buttercup, beautiful yellow. And that's 316. And then Mabel 1306, which is a beautiful teal and cream color. Also, the way that these are cut is that you can take one strand off and still you should still be able to do a loop method, and it should work. Like you're gonna have the same color. So they're like the way they're dyed and the way they cut them, you should be able to do a loop method start. If you like doing that, and you can still, get two strands. And then the other thing that I have is my Threadworks nest egg from 3 Owl Threads. And so I'll go through what these colors are. This one is 1092, which is squash. Yeah, that's a green and yellow. Well, it's not really green. Well, there's some green and some purple and some yellow. So yeah, that's very squashy. 10150. This is Sophia's Cupcake, which is a beautiful light blue. 11311, which is Summer Flowers. It's a nice like purple variegation. 1069. This is Spanish Olives. Yeah, it's a nice olive green variegation. 11411, Soft Peach. It's peachy, but it's also kind of like tan, or like a light tan. 1133, Summer Shadows, which is basically, this is not, it's kind of like a dull pastel, or like a muted pastel. Muted may be the better word. 1123, Stone Cold. This is a beautiful gray. 10421, Stepping Stone. This is a beautiful brown, like a almost reddish brown. It's a really beautiful color. I love that one. 1135, springtime. This is a light purpley pink variegation. 1055, this is Summer Skies, which is white and blue. I already had this one. I think I purchased a bunch of blues. I know I just put that on a floss drop aside from this group. So they come in in alphabetical order from the name, and so we're at the S's. I started in the B's, so getting close. Well, some point soonish, we should be getting close to the time where I got it. Definitely, I think this year, definitely. Okay, so that's all the Flosstube portion. I want to talk about some books that I read and some things I've watched on TV recently. So, start with TV first, or at least this TV show. My boyfriend and I just finished watching Ted Lasso. We're a little late on this one, but the second season, and I so enjoyed it so much. I love that show. I'm gonna watch it again, just so I can catch more things this time. It's on Apple TV Plus. It's a great show. I really love the comedy to it, the inspirationalness of it. It's very good, and it's very much a show that I really enjoy. The ending of the second season is a little I'm not sure how they got there. And I kind of get the idea, but I think there may be one of the characters' journey seems a little bit, I'm not as convinced that it makes sense. I think it could make sense, but I didn't see enough of that in the show, but maybe going back through that would give me a better appreciation for that. So interested about that. Season 14 of Drag Race just finished. Drag Race is an amazing show. Season 14 was really good. It's long. There are a lot of weeks where queens don't go home, but it was enjoyable. I'm very happy with the winner. That were my number one choice. I really loved seeing that. They did a great job in the finale. It was really good. I'm really excited for the rest of what's going on next for them, and everybody else that did really well this year. Is really good season, and I'm really happy. It was really funny. I do not want to see a repeat of the chocolate bar story point or rule or whatever we're gonna call it. There was this thing where all the girls got chocolate bars, and then if they lost their lip sync, then they would reveal the chocolate bar. One of them was a gold bar. That queen got to stay, but there was a lot of, oh, it's chocolate. And then they played this trombone sound, and it's just been very okay, there's enough of that. But it was a great season, and there's a new season of All Stars starting soon, which is going to be on Paramount Plus, like the last season of All Stars was, and it's an all winners season, which is going to be great. I've heard some things, other people have said that there's probably they've said there was a Entertainment Weekly interview with most of the queens from the show, and there's a new rules system. It's different. Now there is going to be a catch at some point, and there's a whole thing about that, but I'm interested about, this new version with all the winners, and so that'll be really cool. If you like watching things with subtitles, there is a Spanish version of Drag Race called Drag Race España, Spain, and it is amazing. Their second season is going on now, and it's a really good production. And it's got subtitles, and so you can read what's happening, but it's really cool. That's on Wow Presents Plus, which is World of Wonder is the name of the production company that does RuPaul's Drag Race. and a lot of other things for Rue and that stuff. So that's been enjoyable as well. Okay. I'm going to go to books and then I'll come back to another Netflix show. I have finished several books in the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to try to, since I'm editing this anyway, I'm going to put in pictures. The first book that I'm going to talk about is The Enemy of My Enemy, which you can see here. This is by Tal Bauer. It is the continuation of the the book. I talked about this, the first book in the series, last time, and so this is a continuation. It's a male romance story, and it is. Now I can't remember their names. The president, Jack, and Ethan, his Secret Service agent. And so it's a continuation of the story from the first one, which was Enemies of the State. I got my list. And so this is a continuation of that story. It is definitely like a suspense and kind of like like a Tom Clancy book. It's kind of like that, but it's gay and it's got like romance in it, gay romance. And so it also expands the group, well, not the group, the number of couples that it talks about expands in this book, not just Jack and Ethan. There's another couple that is, they were in the first book and they kind of come back. And then there's a third couple that kind of gets introduced as well. It was very good. It does end on a pretty big cliffhanger, or not necessarily cliffhanger, but I was very happy I could go on into the next one. And so the next one is Enemy Within, which is the third book in the series. And it continues on this. It does kind of conclude a lot of the stuff from this arc. I think there is a novella that takes place after this, and then there may be additional books in the future, but the like main story seems to be concluded in the third book. Excuse me. They're very good. I enjoy them. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I liked having like a gay romance cleanser or whatever from what I was reading before. There are some odd things to it, like some of the there are some just kind of, there's some sex things that happen and situations these characters get in that I'm a little like it just made me laugh at some of it. I mean, the author is a gay man, and so, I mean, he knows what he seems to be knowledgeable, but it's like, oh, you're doing that with them? Okay. I don't know, that sounds weird, but it was kind of, I enjoyed it, but it was also like, there were definitely some instances where I was like, I should like write this down of what this happened and talk about it with somebody because it's crazy. Or tell my boyfriend about that this happened in this book, which I did that. There's also like an odd, there are two things I found kind of odd. So, in addition to what I just said, one thing is, there is a strong, there are some characters that, although gay, still seem to be kind of have some elements of toxic masculinity that's a little like, well, do they have to do that too? I mean, yes, they sleep with men, but like that seems a little odd having them go to that reaction. Maybe that was, and I didn't have a real problem with it, but it seemed a little like, it's like, I don't know that I would have done that, or I don't know that the story needs to go there, and I'm not sure that it sounds like good to have that as like a characteristic of somebody. But you can have, I mean, you can have lots of, that can be an important point of the story, and I think it does actually get resolved in some ways, that it kind of, that gets not really addressed, but like it's part of the plot too, I think, to some extent. The other thing is there is one of the couples that gets in more prominent in the second and then really the third book are Russians, and I really had trouble relating to them. I don't know that that was like a sign. It could be because they're very Russian, and that may just be accurate. And then I'm not sure, like my trouble relating to them is because it seems very different than like my approach to things. And so that could be accurate. I believed that they were Russian, but maybe that was incorrect, and I just don't have enough of a Russian background or experience to like judge that part of it. But it was interesting. I still liked it. It was just like, that's kind of odd. And then so then let's talk about another Netflix show, Heartstopper. It is a great show. I loved it so much. It's a beautiful little rom-com about high schoolers, queer, mostly. Well, yeah. It's got a lot of the main group, or the main couple that it's about, Charlie and Nick, and how they come together, and their friendship, and then their relationship. The start of it, it's beautiful. The actors that are playing these high school students are like that age, and they're not like adults playing a high schooler, which is very nice. It's British. The source material is as well. They are a series of so there's 8 episodes on Netflix. They're about 30 minutes each. There's a little bit variation there, but it's beautiful. It's a great show. It's very heartwarming, and like it was so good. I then fell down the rabbit hole of reading the graphic novels, so I read all 4 of those. There's also a short novella that I listened to the audiobook of that, and it is great as well. So there are 4 graphic novels, which I'll put in pictures of them here. Volume 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it will continue. It's not over. And then we have, then there's also Charlie and Nick, which is a novella about from the Heartstopper, and so it is told from the perspective of Charlie and Nick, and it kind of, the narrators go back and forth. And in the audiobook format, there's 2 different narrators, one for Charlie and one for Nick, and I really enjoyed that. It was great in an audiobook format, and it's not very long. It's like less than 2 hours, and so it's all great. I'm like, I want more Heartstopper content. I will say that, so like where the TV show ends, I think it's in volume 2. Like, I don't think it ends where volume 1 ends, but it's certainly not into volume 3. And so there's some amount of overlap, and things are a little different. Some of the characters that are in the comic are not in the TV show, or at least haven't made an appearance in the TV show yet. And so, but it's beautiful. I really enjoyed it. If you like a nice rom-com, and with queer characters. This is a beautiful, beautiful show and a beautiful graphic novel. I bought them on not Amazon, but Barnes & Noble, the Nook app or whatever, and so I could read it on my tablet instead of getting the paper version of it. But it's a great show and series. And then I finished one more book, which is called Amongst Our Weapons, and I'll put a picture here. It's by Ben Aronovich, or Aronovich, I think Aronovich. It is a continuation of the Rivers of London series that I have talked about before. This is Peter Grant is the main character, and he is a London policeman who is also a magician. The series kind of follows him through finding out about magic, becoming a magic police officer, and dealing with the magic cases that come in, and he and his boss, who is the main other British magician, and then they're kind of what's been going on, and they're into the future. This is like the 7th or 8th book in the series. I don't remember how far, but it's good. I did have a little bit of trouble staying focused on what was happening in it, but I also, like, I know the plot line and it was interesting, but it wasn't like, it wasn't particularly groundbreaking or particularly like exciting, even for one of these books. Like it seemed like it was just the next one, which is not a bad thing, but it wasn't like a great thing. I would certainly not start with this one if this is where you're starting the series. I would start at the beginning, because that makes the most sense to me. But it was a really good story, a really good book, and I'm really excited for the next one or for the future ones. But it wasn't like, I don't think, it felt like kind of like the latest Mercy Thompson book where stuff happened and it was an interesting story, but I'm like, but what is this pushing forward? Like I didn't see the like a bigger arc that this was going, except like this one's done and then there'll be another one. So not the best thing, but that's what it was. So that's pretty much everything. And I did, so this shirt that I have, it is He-Man and She-Ra, but as if they were the characters from Nightmare Before Christmas, and even Cringer as well. But yeah, I got this from hunties.com, and they do a bunch of different caricature shirts and everything, so I really enjoyed this one and got it and have been enjoying wearing it. But that's pretty much it. So I'm at an hour, but that'll be cut down because I'll have to edit and there'll be some more, so there's probably be more than an hour. But can you stop, please? Hold on just a second. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one, and I hope you all have a great stitching time and continue to stitch and make beautiful things, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!